where was the point where you said, "I gotta go get training. This is what I wanna do for a living
Well,
or a
it's
career?"
funny. I saw an ad in a local newspaper. It was called the Patriot Ledger. I think it's still out. And it was an ad for somebody to train wrestlers. And I looked at it, I think I was around 19 or 20 at the time. I looked at it and I said, "You're kidding. How cool is that? That's local." So I contacted the guy that did the ad. And unfortunately, it ended up being a scam. Luckily, I didn't give him any money. And luckily, my father went with me to meet him. And once he saw that I had a parent with me, he didn't show up. He was actually there, but
Mhm.
he didn't show up because he saw that I had a man with me, and I'm sure he knew it was my father. So I ended up, I kind of got the bug from that, and I was kind of angry that that happened. So somehow, and I don't remember how, but I found out the fabulous Moolah's real name, and I found out the city and state she lived in. So back then, I actually called 411 and she had a listed phone number. And I called her and we exchanged mailing addresses and we wrote to each other, talked a couple times on the phone, and then I came down to Columbia, South Carolina. My dad went with me. Donna Christinello picked us up at the airport, and that's when I decided I'm coming here.
So you went down to the training center. What can you tell me when you first walked in?
Um, I don't know if it's what I expected or not because I didn't really expect. I didn't know what to expect, I guess. I had never seen another training center, so I didn't know, but it was very nice. Her property was beautiful. There was a whole bunch of little cottages on it where the girls all stayed, her regular girls that lived there. I flew down every weekend. I flew down every Friday night after work, and then I flew home Sunday night because I had a day job, obviously. And this was wrestling to me was not something I was looking to do for a day job. It was just something I was looking to do on the weekends. So I did that and it was brutal at first on my body. It was brutal. Um, I woke up the next day from my first day of training. I woke up the next day. I literally could not get out of bed without grabbing the headboard, gritting my teeth with tears rolling down my face and having to go to training that day. I was like, how am I going to go to work on Monday? It was awful, but you get used to it. Obviously, your body's not used to being slammed 8 million times and everything that we had to do over and over again. But it was great training. I learned to protect myself, protect others, and I learned the right way. So that's how it all started.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds pretty intense. They put you through this regimen, and like you said, you have to condition your body and prepare
Right.
for all these different things. Otherwise, don't show up. And
Exactly.
yeah, so
Luckily, at the beginning, the airfares were so cheap that I was able to fly down every weekend. But then all of a sudden, something happened to the airfares where they tripled. And here I am, 20, 21 years old now and can't afford that. I live on my own. I don't live with my parents. I live on my own, pay my own rent and my car insurance and all that good stuff that we all do. I can't afford 300 and something dollars every weekend. Right. So I was at the mechanics shop having my Mustang, not the mechanics, the body shop, having some body work done on my Mustang. And I saw this guy and he saw me. Our eyes locked at the same time because we were the only people there waiting for the shop to open. He was in a little tiny Porsche and I was in like a hot rod Mustang. When the body man showed up to unlock the door, we both got out of our cars and he was a big, tall guy. He looked over at me and he saw how tall I was because I'm over 6 feet. And he said, "Wow, look at you. You could be a professional wrestler." And I went, "Huh?" And I'm thinking, how does this guy know me? He didn't know me and I didn't know him, but he was Tony Santos Jr. and he was there getting Misty Blue Sims Porsche fixed for her.
Hmm.
And I said to him, "How did you know I was a wrestler?" And he said, "I didn't. I just said you could be because of your height." And I was just like, "What is going on here?" Right? Come to find out, he was being honest. That's the only reason he said it. So I told him that I was going to Moolah's and that the airfares tripled, and I'm going to look for something around here. And he said, "Well, let me introduce myself, and I want to take you to Killer Kowalski's." So that's how I ended up at Killer Kowalski's, where I finished up my training, and I ended up being Walter's champ for like 13 years, IWF Ladies Champ, and I ended up in a very, very good place, being trained by two of the best people that, I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better. Two top of their game pros that, and I'll tell you, if anyone tells you that women's training is less torture than men's, it's not true. We get trained the exact same way,
Yeah.
and no excuses. No excuses given. You can't look at Walter Kowalski and say, "I'm a female, I can't do that." No. Nope. You get treated exactly the same, and the exact same is expected of you.